Hi again, everybody. Welcome on board to the latest edition of Gun on One. It is brought to you by the Inside the Birds Network. I'm Derrick Gunn. The NFC Championship game is coming to Philadelphia. Oh, my goodness, and what a thriller it was against the Rams just to get there. For this particular Gun on One, I brought in one of my all-time favorites. I've known him since he was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how old he is, which tells you how old I am. The one and only X-Man himself, Jeremiah Trotter. Man, how you doing, man?
D Gun, man, you've been around a long time, boy.
I'm like old Yeller.
Hey, well, you keep kicking. You keep kicking, man. You won't go away, D Gun.
Hey man. Oh wait. You got the ball look going now?
Yeah, man. I joined the club, man. That's fine. I said, you know what? I got to let it go.
When did this happen? The last time I saw you had a little nubs on the fairway.
I was doing an appearance with Junior, right?
Yeah.
And so they asked me to sign something. So I signed it. I bent over to sign it, and I saw the video on the top of my head. D Gun. I saw, because it's not every day you just looking at the top of your head. Man, I saw a video at the top of my head. Man, Let me tell you something, man. I think I shaved it the next day. I said, man, this got to go. I was looking a hot mess.
So that's it. That's it. No more nubs. You're gonna
man.
Straight chrome dome now.
Hey, you know what else I learned?
What?
It's a lot cheaper like this.
Yeah. But you know what else? You know what else too? Like when you accidentally bump your head and stuff, that hurts worse, man. Oh my goodness. You talking about dude got divots all up and down his head nowadays, man.
Man, you know what? It felt funny for the first month or so. I always touching it, but it feels normal now, It's cool. I like it.
Until that cold wind hits it.
I'm good. I'm hot natured, man. So I'm good with the cold wind. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Hey, I know you were at the game yesterday on Sunday against the Rams. Being the bougie one that you are, you were up there in the suite. You weren't down on the field like the real foot soldiers, man.
Hey, D Gun, let me tell you something. I think it's cold in the box because that wind up there. The higher you get, the colder you get, man. Now I wasn't in the snow. I didn't get no snow on me, but boy, that wind was whipping up there in that box.
All right, first of all, give me your general overall impression of what you witnessed on Sunday.
I think we did whatever we needed to do to win, man. Tough defense. Yeah, we gave up a few plays here and there, but when you get deep in the playoffs like this, you're facing some really good teams. We gave up a few plays here and there, especially at the end of the game. Gave up a drive you didn't want to give up to make the game as close as you did.
Yeah.
But fortunately, came up with big plays down the stretch to win the game. And I think the offense did what we needed to do to win the game. The objective at this point of the season is to win. It doesn't matter how it looks, pretty, ugly, flashy. It's to get the dub and move to the next round. And that's what the Eagles are doing.
I want to start with your forte, which is defense, and then, of course, linebacking in particular. Zach Bond, I mean, here's a guy who was nothing more than an afterthought when he was down with the Saints. He comes here, and Vic Fangio identifies something in him and turns him loose. And this dude, not only Pro Bowler, but all pro, man.
Right.
Talk about the play, because I know you've seen a number of games this year, but talk about the play from what you've seen of Zach Bond this season.
Man, he's had a phenomenal year, just in all aspects of the game, passing, run, blitzing. He's made plays. He's created turnovers. He has interceptions, sacks, tackle for losses, open field tackles, passing game. You name it, he did it all for this defense and just had a great year.
When you look at the scheme Vic Fangio runs, what sticks out most about it to you?
Just the way he allows the linebackers to run free. His main goal is let's keep the linebackers free where they can run around and make plays. That's why you see linebackers very successful in his defense because one, now you got to have the guys up front, which they do. Yeah. They got some dogs up front, and they're big enough and good enough to not only make plays, but they also holding those linemen, making sure trying to keep them from getting up to the second level. And he just does a great job, man. Just scheming wise, offenses really can't get a beat on what he's trying to do, and the guys just make plays. I don't feel like he tried to do too much, you know. And a lot of teams get in trouble when they go out and try to do too much, try to
Yeah. Yep.
out coach the other guy on the other side of the ball, and you get yourself in trouble. Sometimes you got to line up, everybody on the same page, and play football.
This was the youngest starting 11 in the National Football League. Are you surprised at how well they meshed and gelled together to the point where they're the number one defense in the entire NFL this season?
I'm not surprised. We knew even last year when the defense fell apart, there was too much talent on that defense to play the way they did last year down the stretch, right? So now you bring in Fangio, who's bringing in a new system, new style, new mentality, and allowing those guys to play free and play fast, and just putting them in position to be successful. And early on they struggled here and there a little bit early on,
Yeah.
but as the season has gone along, you can see them just building, just keep getting better, keep getting better, keep getting better, and that's attributed to not only Fangio and his coaching staff, but it's attributed to the players just making plays, man. Having, we talked about Bond, we talked N'Kobe Dean.
Yeah.
Losing him was a big loss, but we thank God they got depth at that position where
Hmm.
you can go and put guys in there and still be successful. But the cornerback safeties, man, everybody's just playing great football together.
Man, you talked about dogs that they have in the trenches, man. But you have to start with that young man, Jalen Carter. This man's got nonstop motor, man. I mean, from start to finish. When you think a lot of guys get tired in the fourth quarter, it seems like he gets that extra win. That last series the Rams had, he made the two crucial plays. He got the sack, and then he got the pressure on Matthew Stafford to force him to throw the ball away, man. Can you talk about what you've seen in Jalen Carter? Because that dude is the dog with a capital D.
This all I can say is, when somebody's so good, you ain't got
Yeah,
nothing to say. You just
yeah.
shake your. Hey, man, listen. This cat for too long, he gonna be identified as best defensive lineman in the National Football League.
Mm,
He's got that type of ability, and when you watch him play, he's unblockable. You know what I mean? He can beat two people. Uh, he's special, man. He's special. He's special, and rightfully so. I think it was first team All Pro.
yeah.
Man, listen, man. He's a straight up dog. And when you draw on double teams like that, that frees up other guys. You
Mhm.
know, and the way they're using them, running stunts and twists with those guys, man. You get him on the move. I mean, it's not enough you can say about him. He's been a integral part of this defense. The plays he's making, even when he don't make the play, the disruption that he causes, the attention that he draws, allows other guys to get free and get one on ones. And when you walk up a linebacker in that gap,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that tackle, that guard got a blocking one on one, man, you can see them guys on skates, man.
Hey, look, when you look at this D line in particular, they don't get a lot of sacks, but they do make quarterbacks uncomfortable with their volume of pressure. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. Is this D line better than the D line Trot played with back in the day when his
Hey,
team
man.
was making this run through conference championships?
Listen, man, you ain't gonna get me to go against my guys, but
Come on
these
now, come on.
these guys are tough. Here's what I will say:
Yeah,
they're the number one defense in the league. We
yeah,
had back in the day, we was never ranked the number one defense, but we was always ranked in the top five in scoring. So you could move the ball on us, but it was hard for teams to score on us in the red zone.
yeah, yeah.
So both teams got their pluses and minuses, but these guys are big, man. They're physical. But I had a good squad too. But
Yeah.
if you look across, I never have an all pro. I never had an all pro in front of me. I don't think.
Right, right, right.
I don't think I had an all pro in front of me. Jalen, he's all pro, man. That cat there, listen. He is a difference maker.
When you did your thing, you played for one of the best that ever do it in Jim Johnson.
Right.
As you sit back down and watch this team, is there a part of you that says, man, I wish I were playing this Fangio defense?
No, man. Listen, man. Listen. When I played, man, I played for one of the best to do it, and but those guys look like they're having a lot of fun in this
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
And especially after the first maybe 4 weeks of the season, and they just kept growing together, getting better and better, and then they just, man, listen, I didn't nobody knew how good the defense was going to be,
No.
right? When you look on paper, you can say, wow. Man, they got a lot of talent, right? But I know coming into the season, the linebacking group core was the question mark.
Mm-hmm.
And they've proven that they're no longer a question mark. They're one of the strengths on that defense. So it's just a testament to to Fangio and the coaching staff, and then also the players going out there making plays.
Prior to this game, Fangio kind of duped us at his press conference last week when he said that I'm not afraid to put Trotter in there. You know, he's come a long ways, and we're all thinking it's going to be split time between him and Owen Burks. And young Trot didn't get to play. How disappointed were you? Because, based on what he told us, we thought he was going to see at least 30, 40, maybe 50% of the reps.
You know what? Listen, I was out of the country, man. I got on the plane. I came back. I'm ready. But, I've always told Jeremiah, just stay ready. No matter if you get 1 rep or 100 reps, stay ready. You stay ready, you don't got to get ready, and he was ready to go if his number was called upon. So he just went out and tried to, dominate on special teams and just be ready if his number called.
Is it hard for you to not always coach him up? Do you still coach him up a lot, or do you give him his space now?
I'm giving him space more than I ever have before.
Okay.
Very seldom do I really coach him up, you know what I'm saying? Now, he's not playing a lot right now either.
Right.
But, if I see something, a little technique here or there that'll help him get better, of course I say something, So I'll be stupid not to say something. I've learned a lot from a lot of great coaches, a lot of great minds, and just a lot of great players, just guys I played with, guys I played against, and I would be doing myself and him a disjustice if I didn't share some of that knowledge.
What impresses you most about him as an evolving young player in the National Football League, about his demeanor, how he handles himself, even though he's not playing much right now? The fact of the matter is he is a professional football player now.
Right.
You've known this young man since he was born. You've watched him evolve. You've mentored him. You've helped mold him, tutored him. What impresses you most about his makeup?
I would say his focus, man. His focus, man. He, even as a young kid, he was always locked in. Always locked in. He's going to put the work in. He's going to put the time in. He's incredibly focused, and he loves the game. He's all about his business, So when you have a guy that has God-given ability, right? Genes, has the genes, has all the ability it takes to play in the NFL, and then you have the focus, right? Because a lot of guys don't have the focus. They had talent, didn't last long because they didn't have the focus or the things that it takes to stay there. That's a good recipe for a great player, and so he's excited, man, to be playing for his hometown team. Excited to be out there winning in a great organization, and he's just putting the work in, man, and waiting for his time. At some point, his time going to come. We don't know when that's going to be, but at some point, his time going to come, and he'll be ready.
You look at that young man, Quinyon Mitchell. He got injured in the game. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. He'll be ready to go against Washington. But
sounds like it's not too serious, right?
Right. But when you played, did you have a rookie behind you that played like him? That you guys had that wow factor that this kid is more than ready. You got teams throwing away from him. That's the ultimate respect for a cornerback when they don't even throw you away.
The first time I saw a rookie come in where something happened and the vets kind of looked at each other like, ooh. Donovan McNabb was a rookie, right?
Okay.
And he took a drop. He dropped back and he tripped on the lineman's foot, I think. And he was flat on his butt and threw the ball to the flat on a flare route.
What?
Yeah, back running away from him. He's sitting flat on his butt, threw the ball, threw a dime right to him. And that's from sitting on your butt. So we all kind of looked at each other like, he gonna be a problem. Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
All right, let's go over to the offense. And you hear the talk, and there's so much talk about Jalen Hurts, what he is, what he isn't, what he can do, what he cannot do, what he should be doing. They're not utilizing his skill set. He's not seeing this. He's not making enough quick decisions. You played with quarterbacks. You played against some great quarterbacks. Give me your evaluation of what you've seen of Jalen Hurts.
man, he win ball games.
There you go.
If he need to throw for 300 to win, he does that. If he need to rush for 60, 70 yards and throw for $120, $130, he does that. I think he had 180 total yards, touchdown, no turnovers, and he won the game, man. I mean, we're up by 14, 15, late in the fourth. Game should have been over at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy wins ball games. He does what it takes to win. He's not worried about stats. He's not trying to. He ain't worried about breaking the single season passing record. He's worried about wins, stacking W's, and that's what he's been doing. And that's all I care about. People that don't know football, they can get caught up in all them stats they want to, but the guy goes out. He's not turning the football over. If you look at Baltimore, right? What killed Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. Turnovers.
Two big turnovers by Lamar.
That's right.
Right now, I know the one by the tight end hurt. That was a big one. But, dude, you can't turn the football. Get this deep in the playoffs, you can't turn the football over.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, whoever win the turnover battle this deep in the playoffs, win the game, right? Because both teams, if you get this deep, you're solid on all three phases.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Who makes the least amount of mistakes most times at this point of the season win the game?
Why do you think people are so indifferent towards him then? I mean, you've been here a long time. You know Philadelphia as well as anybody. You played in front of the harshest critics in Philadelphia for much of your career. Why do you think there's such an indifference? Because the bottom line is what you've said, and we've said it. I've said it. Seth Joyner has said it. He wins ball games. It may not be pretty, but he wins.
I'm gonna be honest with you, D. Gunn.
Yeah.
I don't really care, and I guarantee you, Jalen don't care. So only people he's worried about his coaches and his teammates, man, and that's really all that matters. You gotta, as a player, as a coaching staff, you gotta block out all the noise. Block out all the noise, especially this time of year. It's only a few teams playing, so you're gonna have even more media dissecting your play, every throw, every call. Block out all the noise, man. Go play your game and win the game. That's the only thing you care about.
I'm going to mention two words to you, and then I'm going to sit back and listen to you talk. Saquon Barkley.
Take him ahead again. That's all you can say. Hey, man. I'll put it this way. I'm glad I ain't got the lineup over there. No, I would have loved the lineup against Saquon, man. But, man, this guy's special, man. But listen, he's always been special. Always. I think I watched the highlight of him in junior high, right? Or he was on JV. They say he got his first D1 offer from a JV highlight. He's always been a superstar, and everything he's doing now, I'm not surprised. He did everything he did in New York with no passing game and a busted up line. Now you put him behind this offensive line, the best in the National Football League. Come on, man. That don't surprise me when you take a guy his talent. He's a generational talent, right? So you're not going to see a Saquon Barkley often. That's why I'm surprised. Well, you know what? You can't be surprised. They let Reggie White go.
Yeah. Don't say that. That's still a sore spot with a lot of Philadelphia historians.
Listen, you can it's a lot of guys that's wearing gold jackets that didn't end their career with the team they got the gold jacket for. And a lot of them left in their prime. That's just the nature of the business, right? But Saquon not worried about that, man. He's always been a star. I'm not surprised by what he's doing.
Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the Eagles are plus 450 to win the Super Bowl. What do you say, Birds fans? New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BIRDSPREGAME. That's code BIRDSPREGAME, all one word, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Power, speed, agility. Is he the most complete back in the game right now?
Did you see his acceleration?
Yes. Yes.
Did you see? Listen. Yeah, he's definitely he is the best back in the National Football League right now. He's the best back, and I always thought he was the best back when he was in New York. He just didn't have a lot to work with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're talking about a guy that did everything he did in New York with a loaded box. They had a loaded box, and he was making these things happen. So now you got a guy, even now with a loaded box, you still have a threat of Jalen pulling that thing. And especially after he had that first long run, now you're holding the backside end. The backside end can't crash down and make that play.
That's right.
Because of the threat of Jalen pulling it. So man, listen, he's gonna be tough for years to come.
Look, they have the best offensive line in the game, a quarterback who doesn't turn the football over, the best running back in the game, and 2 premier wide receivers, and a couple of really good tight ends. Did any team you play for, as many games as you won when you played in Philadelphia, and as many big games as you played, did you ever have a team come close to being that complete as this team is right now?
Man, listen, I played against a lot of great teams.
Yeah.
But only the best offense I ever faced, I'm going to have to say the Rams. Back when they had the greatest show on turf.
Yep.
Man, you talking about they had 2 Hall of Fame receivers.
Yeah.
Right? Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame running back, Hall of Fame left tackle. Man, them guys was loaded, man. I mean, they wouldn't call the greatest show on turf for nothing.
What about when you played Philadelphia? Was there ever a team, a nucleus as complete as this offensive nucleus? Y'all had some good offensive teams, no question about it. But was there one come close to being this complete? And I'm including even when T.O. was here.
No. Well, listen, that year, man, that offense had a great year. I mean, I think they was number 1 in NFL in scoring.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, that was the year I was in Washington. They was number 1 in scoring.
Okay.
No, this nucleus, across the board, no. Especially the offensive line, man. They was. I mean, Donovan was tough, and he was tough in his day, man. He was tough, just with the threat of running and throwing the football. We had Trey Thomas. Man, we was tough, but this nucleus right here, across the board, they ain't never had an offensive line like this as a whole, as a group.
How would you describe Nick Sirianni? Passionate, emotional at times, gets very emotional at times. How would you categorize Nick Sirianni as a head coach from what you've seen of him, and maybe from what you've interacted with him?
Listen, even before I met Nick and just watching him from afar, I think he embodies the city of Philadelphia. Hard-nosed, in your face, don't mind telling what people say don't bother him. Everybody talks about everybody hates Philly. Everybody hates Philly and we don't care. Listen, he don't care, man. He come to work. I love his personality, man. I think the guys love him. They rally around him. And I hope he stays that way. Interacting with the fans, whether he's in the stands high-fiving or yelling back at them. He don't care, man. I like it.
In the latter stages of that game Sunday, it got a little hairy. Rams walked down the field in a minute 48, got within 6 points. They get the ball back. They're walking down the field again. What's Trotter thinking up in his suite, his private box?
D-Gun.
Uh-oh.
I had a full head of hair before the 4th quarter started.
Come on, man. Oh, come on, man.
By the end of the fourth, I look like this. Man, listen, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
Lord. But man, let me tell you something. When Jalen Carter got that sack,
Yeah.
to me, that's the play of the game.
Mm.
Because now you put them guys in negative yardage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Man, that was a play of the game, man. Oh my goodness, we needed that was a huge play. I mean, listen, there was a lot of big plays in the game, but at that moment when them guys are driving, I think they had got down to what, the 20, the 14, or something like that, the 14-yard line, with what, 30 some seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. That's big time.
Mm.
And you know, it's great for the defense, man. They've been balling all year, so it was great to see them come up with a stand there at the end of the game. You know, to send us to the next round.
What's that stadium going to be like on Sunday?
Crazy as ever. You know, and I love it, man. So I'm driving in, right? So I'm with my boy. I'm with my boy Victor. So I see a guy in a 5-4 jersey.
Okay.
So I let the window down. He didn't recognize me. He's talking major trash to me.
That's because you had hair before.
Hey, F you, that's why you're late to the game. So I leaned out the window, and the other fans, yo, that's Trotter. So everybody started doing the axe chop.
Yeah.
And now the guys over there like, oh man, he got my jersey on. Oh man. Oh man, I'm talking to Trotter. But that's what I love about Philly.
Yeah.
He thought I was the enemy, and he was letting me have it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I love, man. I love it.
All right. They're going to be playing the Washington Commanders.
Right.
This young man, Jaden Daniels, have you ever seen a rookie quarterback do what he's doing? This guy has ice water in his veins, man. Have you ever seen a rookie quarterback do what he's doing?
I thought C.J. Stroud had a great season last year.
As a rookie, yes.
This season, this kid's having, it's on another level. I mean, he don't flinch. We got our hands full. Yeah. We absolutely got our hands full. And they got the receivers to match. Mm-hmm. And when he can't get the ball downfield, he's used his legs. He's poised. He know when to run, when not to run. Man, I'm telling you, he's got all the tools. He's got all the tools, man. And when he's running, it just seems effortless, you know. And he's running past guys. So we got our hands full, you know. We can't, you know, and it's gonna be a dogfight, man, at home. You know what I'm saying? They beat us the second game. What scares me is I think the defense calls like 5 turnovers.
Yes.
And we still lost the game.
Yes.
So typically you get 5 turnovers, it's ball game. You know what I'm saying? You putting the backups in. But, you know, it's, like you said, we at home, we got the home field advantage, right? We got our crazy fans out there. And you know, we expect nothing less than a battle. So it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
You know, they always talk about it takes rookie quarterbacks 3 to 4 years to truly develop into what you expect them to become as a professional quarterback. What do you think? Now, obviously, Cliff Kingsbury's done an incredible job with him down in Washington, but what do you think from an individual makeup makes him stand out from the rest? Because this rookie class of quarterbacks we've been looking at this year have been outstanding, but like you said, this kid stands above the rest.
Well, here's the thing, right? The team wasn't terrible before he got there, right? You know, Caleb Williams went to a situation. You went to Chicago, first pick in the draft. You go to first pick in the draft, you're going to a bad team. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got a lot more to overcome. So he had a good nucleus of guys there, right? I think Ron Rivera did a decent job with those guys down there for what he had. Did a good job. So he wasn't going into just like a total rebuild. So, you know, he got receivers there, got a good running backs. And granted, he has been the key that brings all those things together, right? Just his individual play. But so he's in the better situation than a lot of these other guys. But not to take nothing away from him, he's having an amazing year. He's ranked. I mean, he won the Rookie of the Year like by week 5, I think.
How impressed were you with him, watching him, what he did in Detroit? I mean, he's on the biggest stage you could possibly be on against the team everybody predicted was going to the Super Bowl, and he went in there and sliced them up like a Vegematic. Now I'm showing my age now, the old Vegematic. He sliced them up like a Vegematic.
Listen, I did not expect them to be more physical than Detroit.
Right.
Because Detroit, they pride themselves on being physical, gritty, grimy type team. I did not expect Washington to go down there and just be more physical, dominate the line of scrimmage more than those guys. And they did it. They showed me a different side of them. So, like I said, now you this week you're facing the best offensive. Their defensive line is facing the
Yeah.
best offensive line in
Yeah.
National Football League.
Yeah.
You know, you can't compare Detroit's offensive line to our defensive line, and vice versa. Our defensive line, right, and our defense as a whole, we are the best defense in the league for a reason, not just by look. We've been the best after week 3 or 4. We've, especially after that Tampa Bay game, we've been the best defense in the National
Yep.
Football League for a while now.
Yep.
So, and we proved again this week after we lost our corner, our starting corner, after we lost a starting linebacker, and we still was able to go out there and make plays and win the game. So it's going to be a much different environment for those guys. But you know, you can't take anything away from them. They're still a good football team.
Right now, the Eagles obviously are the favorites to go to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC. If you're in the locker room and you're talking to this Eagles team, Washington and Jalen didn't play much of the game, but Washington found a way to pick apart your defense. They put up 22 points on your defense in the fourth quarter to win that game that they won. The third time, this is round 3. This is it for all the marbles. What are you telling your team as they get ready to face Washington a third time?
Well, first I would say this. We lost our quarterback early.
Yeah.
And if we don't lose our quarterback, we're on our way to a route, what it was looking like. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I agree.
We're on our way to a route because, and people see what Jalen Hurts means to this offense when he went down in Washington. That's the first thing. You got your leader back. You got your captain back. We coming in with a full clip. We ain't coming in with just one in the chamber. We got a full clip and a few more on our belt, right? So now, you know, they're coming into our house. They coming in and try to take something that belongs to us in our house. It's our job to go out there and punish them guys and send them home, send them on vacation. So, you know, I think we're going to be ready, man. Coach Nick has been doing a great job all year, getting those guys prepared, getting them ready for the challenge. And even when we had some close games, they found a way to win. You know, you look at Kansas City. Kansas City hadn't been lighting up the scoreboard like they used to do in the past, but they've always found a way to win. And that's all that matters. You're finding a way to win. Mahomes is not lighting up the board. He hadn't had an MVP season or a great season, in individual season. But guess what? He's not turning the football over.
Nope.
He's taking off when he take off. He's making the throws when he need to make the throws, and they're playing great defense. And they find themselves right back in the AFC championship game come next week, and we're doing the same thing. So that we're right where we want to be.
If the Eagles win this game Sunday, will you be in New Orleans?
Man, come on, man. I got to go. I got skin in the game. Not just because I bleed green.
Yeah.
My son on the team, so I got to go. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So are you going to press him for the tickets, or are you going to go up higher so you can get a better seat?
Listen, I put it this way: I ain't gonna be in the upper decks. So you know, hey, it ain't about what you know; it's who you know.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Oh man. Hey, I know you still spend an awful lot of time down in the Dominican Republic.
Right.
And you know, we've talked about this on my podcast a number of times, and you've talked about this with a number of other people. But just to refresh a lot of people's memories, you were down there building a lot of condos and stuff like that, not just for the well-to-do, but for people who desperately need homes. You've been doing this quite a while now. How far has the Dominican Republic come in terms of better housing for people down there since you've been in the trenches and a part of what's going on down in terms of rebuilding that environment?
It's amazing, man. It's amazing because when we first started, it was about 2 million home deficit.
Wow.
And then the government started giving out a lot of subsidies for first-time home buyers and stuff like that. And you kind of cater your plan to what the government is doing because those are what's selling. And I'm just happy and proud to say I've been a part of that transition, a major move. We've changed the landscape there. We've built cities, and just excited to be a part of that, man. And it's a great place to be. I spend most of my time down there in the wintertime, now. So listen, I'm getting old, D-Gun. This cold weather, man, and the way my knees is set up. Hey, D-Gun. Hey, man, listen. My kids are grown now, right? My kids are grown.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing. When I'm out of the country, I talk to them every day.
Yeah.
Every day, 2 or 3 times a day, right? I probably call them more than what they like. But same time, listen, I got to stay moving around,
Yeah. Well, you said you're building cities. You've been a part of actually building or rebuilding an entire city?
Homes, man, just like towns, building up areas that wasn't a lot there, and just building, just not just my company, just other builders around there.
Yeah.
So I just feel fortunate being a part of that.
How much hands-on do you have? I know last time I talked to you about this, you joked and said, "Hey, D-Gun, I'm not rolling up the sleeves. I'm not slinging a hammer and nails and stuff like that." But what is your role in this whole thing?
Yeah, hey, I'm not out there pouring concrete, if that's what you're asking.
You're going soft in your old age.
Yeah, I'm not laying tile and stuff like that.
Right.
I take care of the big issues, when it's time to buy land, close deals, meet with banks, go, bank invite you to go play golf when you got rough shoulders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I do, man. I do this stuff like that, and so that's easy for me. And I mean, I love it. So, and then you got to go to the project, check out stuff, look at future projects and stuff like that. So, the big I can't say the most important thing, but the important things.
Do you ever see yourself going to any other country doing the same thing you're doing now?
Nah, man. Nah, my hands full where I'm at.
How much longer do you think you'll be doing it there?
Long as there's a need.
Yeah.
As long as there's a need,
Wow.
as long as they're selling. So, no need, man, to try to, spread yourself too thin, man. So for me, just going out of the country is getting away also, to rest your mind and get your mind off a lot of things. So it's a vacation for me too. So
Yeah. JT, as always, man, I can't thank you enough for taking some time to talk to me, man. It's always a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. It's been too long.
Appreciate you having me, man.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of Gun on One, powered by the Inside the Birds Network. For that man, the Axeman himself, Jeremiah Trotter, I'm Derrick Gunn. We will talk to you next week when we talk about the Eagles heading to Super Bowl 59 to take on either the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs. Until then, so long, everybody.